Welcome back to the Pesky Report, episode 525, presented by Beyond the Monster. I'm Jordan, joined by Brian and Jack. We got another morning recording for you guys. I'm not having coffee, so I won't lose my shit in about 45 minutes. We're good, boys. How we doing today?
Good.
Doing good.
Nice to have a couple wins in a row. First time in 11 days the Red Sox have won consecutive games, which is nuts to think about. But yeah, I've taken this already secured a series win here against the Tampa Bay Rays, which is it couldn't have come at a better time for them. They're now 10-2 against Tampa this year, which is nuts to me. But yeah, I mean it's been a good series. The offense seems to have shown some signs of life. Bregman especially has really started to show signs of life. And yeah, they've picked up a couple of big wins while the Guardians continue to just fucking refuse losing. They just have said no to losing. I hate the Cleveland Guardians so much. I hate them like with a passion. They do this every year. They're not good. They have good players. They're not a good team. Every year they're like painfully mid or terrible, like 85 to 90% of the season, and then that 10% they lose like 3 games in that entire 10% of the time. It's ridiculous. It's freaking. They're 15-1 in their last 16, I think. They're 14-1 in their last 15. And yeah, they're nipping at the Sox heels. Thankfully, also Houston's heels. Actually, no, they've caught up to Houston. They're tied for the third wildcard spot. So, y'all afraid of Cleveland?
In like math ways, yes. In like if we played them in a playoff series, not particularly. I feel like the devil magic has to go away at some point. But yeah, in terms of how hot they are. But at this point, they're only 1 game behind the Tigers in the Central. So I'm kind of just like, you know what? Go take them. Leave the wild card thing alone. Just go win your division, Cleveland.
Yeah, the Tigers are 1-8 in their last 9. They have completely
ever since
imploded.
That Yankee Stadium game.
Yeah, ever since they did the Trump dance, they're 1-8. Not every team gets a Trump bump. The Tigers apparently do not get the Trump bump.
Because he didn't like embrace the bump, you know.
True.
Like it needs to be like a two-way thing. Like Detroit just comes off as desperate.
Yeah, it wasn't a political endorsement from the president of the United States, and that's what happens. 1-8 in their last 9.
Only kind of guy.
Yeah, he really big AL East fan, Donald Trump. Tigers, yeah, huge. The Tigers losers of 5 in a row get Atlanta for the series finale today, and then 3 more with Cleveland, so they could be out of first place in the Central. That last series of the year is gigantic. All of a sudden,
yeah,
I thought it was gonna be like a tune-up. You get some guys some at bats. Maybe that's where we see some of the rookies. Like we get the Quinn Priester start, but for Kyle Harrison gets a second start in that series. Nope. This series means like literally everything to both teams. They're having probably like you'd have to argue like worse than the 2011 September Red Sox collapse if the Tigers end up missing the playoffs entirely. Because they were like number 1 on a lot of people's power rankings entering September, and now they're like dragging ass trying to get to the playoffs. It's brutal. They do have 2 Scooble starts though, so there's that. But anyway, Tigers podcast. We're talking about the Red Sox again. Game 1, Garrett Crochet on the mound for them against who started for the Rays? Why am I blanking? Who started for the Rays in Game 1?
Cleffinger.
Rasmussen, right?
Oh yeah, Drew Rasmussen. Yeah. And Crochet's back in his bag of giving up a ton of home runs. He gave up 2 more in this one. Did only allow 3 runs and 4 hits. It feels kind of weird because you look at the runs allowed and the home runs, and you think Crochet's kind of struggling down the stretch, and I guess to a degree he kind of is, but the he only allowed 4 hits. I think he only walked 1 or 2,
Yeah.
and he still struck out 9.
Uh-huh.
So like it's a little different. Whereas earlier in the year he'd scatter 5, 6, 7 hits and only allow 1 run. Now the hits he's giving up are a little bit more damaging.
Right.
What are your thoughts on Crochet this start and then just kind of the last handful of starts, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, the last couple of games he's pitched, it's like, oh, he's striking guys out, bomb, but it's a solo home run. He's not doing like the walk 2 guys and give up a home run, which is nice. So like when they do make contact and when a pitcher, these stud pitchers early on, their first inning is usually the tough one for them. They settle in. So I'm not really that worried about it, but then I always hope they don't have like Pedro Martinez syndrome. And it's like, well, we have Crochet pitching today, so we need to hit because they haven't been hitting. But then when Crochet gives up 2 runs, you're like, oh fuck, if he gives up 2 runs, then we're screwed. He's the guy who's not supposed to give up 2 runs early. But, we'll get into the next couple of games of the series. I was at the Athletics game, and I know you guys were at the Section 10 and stuff, but it was like, we're down. We can come back. And you're like, fuck, they're not against the Athletics. But in this Tampa series, they had a little bit of adversity. Some early runs were scored, and they actually had that opportunity to then put some guys on base and then take the lead back. But yeah, Crochet, I mean, we're in uncharted territory right now. He's at his innings limit, or he's exceeded his innings limit at this point. So we really don't know what he is going to be doing right now. I mean, he's got the stuff, he's got the pedigree, but he's probably trying to feel it out too. And I mean, he's probably got an idea. I'm probably going to maybe pitch in some playoff games. Maybe I'm going to just throw some fastballs, try and get through this lineup, and they hit it, where earlier in the season, he might've thrown some breaking pitches or done something different, or, hey, I need to pitch a complete game. But he's like, if I can get 5 innings, hold him under 3 runs, we've got a decent bullpen. We should be okay. So if he gives up a couple runs, maybe he's not like, it's not the end of the world, which means he has faith in his offense, which he might have more faith in the Red Sox offense than I do and you do right now.
Definitely. He's like he's trying to create pressure for them. It's like, I'm
a little bit.
like
he's like, guys, like, we might face good fucking teams in the playoffs. So like, step it up.
He refuses to become Jacob DeGrom.
Yeah, he's doing the opposite of DeGrom. Just continued pitching better and then finding new ways to lose when he was with the Mets. And Crochet's like, oh, if I pitch better, we don't score. So let me pitch worse. Yeah. Sacrifice my Cy Young candidacy for the betterment of the offense. Honestly, I think that's very noble of him.
I don't question anything he does. Crochet's done. I still can't believe that like we have an ace, because like this ownership was like dragging their schlong across the dirt, like, oh, what are we doing? Yeah, it's kind of, and they went out and got a guy,
Yeah, we had Corey Kluber.
Oh yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, Corey. Yeah. I saw him read the newspaper down the street at the convenience store the other day, saying, "You're not playing for the team anymore, huh? That's too bad." But hey, at least he's local. That's great. But we got like best closer in baseball. We've got a guy who could win the Cy Young Award. We've got a lot of really cool things on this team, like fun stuff to watch. And it's just really exciting. I really hope we're doing this podcast next month and talking about baseball.
Same.
Like just like I'm so like, oh, like I'm so sick of this bullshit missing game. Missing the playoffs by a few games. I'm just really excited, and we've had a lot of adversity with Anthony being out and Abreu. God knows when the fuck he's coming back. But supposedly it's just like.
Today.
Yeah, we're right here. We're right there. We just got
right in front of us.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I don't want to have us be a Blue Jays podcast in a month. No. That'd be kind of sad.
Or a Tigers podcast,
season has been.
Or a Guardians podcast, or a Phoenix Suns podcast.
I will never be a Guardians podcast. Absolutely not. Fuck that. No, that's unethical baseball. Right. We don't subscribe to that. Yeah, I'm with you there. Hopefully that this team can. That's the one good thing about being in a playoff spot, as opposed to like last year, even when they kind of were like still mathematically like able to make the playoffs. So they had to basically run the table that last week to have a shot. They did not, obviously. But like if they just win baseball games, they'll be there. Like it's that simple. Like, it's not like they have to win and other teams have to lose. Now, them losing would certainly help the Red Sox case. Like, if Cleveland lost today and the Sox won, that drops their magic number 2 games. I think it's right now it's 6. It's 6. So they win, Guardians lose, it goes down to 4. That might be bad math. It might be 7. right now, and then goes down to 5. I don't remember, but I'm looking at the schedules for these teams to end the season. The Sox get obviously today with Tampa, and then no, it is 6 and then 4 because they have a 1-game lead on the second wild card spot. Anyway, the Sox get today with Tampa, then they have Toronto and Detroit. The Guardians have the last game with Minnesota, then Detroit and Texas, so 2 good teams there. And then the Tigers get Cleveland and Boston, and then the Astros. The Astros missing the playoffs is so fake. Like, that's not going to happen because they get the A's and the Angels to end the season, so they'll be there. I don't think we need to worry too much about Houston missing the postseason.
But it would be the funniest possible option.
It would be fantastic, because I hate the fact that they get rewarded for letting Bregman walk and then trading Kyle Tucker in the same offseason for them to end up making the postseason anyway. It's like, that's real devil magic. And they missed Jordan like all year.
Yeah.
And they still make it. They had Jose Altuve playing left. Like, what? They don't deserve it.
What's more annoying for you guys? The fact that the Blue Jays didn't fucking die, or this fucking Guardians 10-win thing? Like, what? Like, what do you hate more?
What do you hate more, Jack?
Probably the Cleveland thing, because
Yeah.
I find it hard to like actually hate the Blue Jays. At this point, I just think it's funny.
Okay.
Like, it's like, how is this even happening? Why is George Springer going to finish top 5 in MVP voting?
Comeback Player of the Year, George Springer.
Don't
Yeah,
say
probably.
that. Not over Trev. No, you're probably right.
Not that he was hurt. He just sucked last year, and now he's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't overcome shit. He just learned how to fucking hit again.
Yeah, it became good again.
But yeah, the Cleveland thing is just like, how the hell? Even though, like, once again, I think it would be even funnier if this results in the Tigers and/or Astros missing the playoffs. Like, if Cleveland knocks one of them out, then like it's really fun,
right?
Yeah, it's tentatively. I'm with you on Cleveland just because of the chaos it could cause. But right now, it's also creating chaos against the Red Sox.
Yeah,
which is what's really frustrating.
And speaking of us being a Detroit Tigers podcast, they just DFA'd Charlie Morton. So
did they really?
Really? Yeah.
Has he been bad for them? Has he really been bad for them? I know that those first couple starts, he was really good for them.
7.09 ERA across 9 starts as a Tiger.
Oof. That's still better than Dustin Mays. So
who should not be activated, please God.
Oh yeah, I saw that he was playing catch, and I'm like, no, he's
No,
not.
I saw that tweet that was about him. And
don't play catch.
And someone just like quote tweeted it with, "Is this a threat?"
Felt like it. I certainly took it that way.
Have you guys heard anything more? Have you guys heard anything more on Perales getting here, or is that a pipe dream, or is he on the verge, or what's the deal there?
Well, he pitched yesterday for Worcester. Yeah. He faced 3 batters. He only got 1 out. He did top at 104 or 100.4 miles an hour.
Whoa.
So yeah, I mean he's a talented arm. I feel kind of weird throwing him to the Wolves in the postseason, especially because like I look at the bullpen as it is, and maybe they drop. I mean, it'll be matchup based, I would imagine. I don't know. Right. Like I'm at the point now where I mean, obviously the rest of the regular season is paramount. Like they're not secure in a postseason spot, or they shouldn't feel safe at the moment.
Right.
But like looking at the bullpen, I'm trying to think of who wouldn't make it. I think Murphy wouldn't make it because they're going to stick a couple starters out there. Yep. Murphy wouldn't make it. I think Justin Wilson wouldn't make it.
Really?
I really think they'd keep Wilson out.
Huh.
Though just the way he's pitched lately, it seems kind of like a coin flip whether he's going to get the job done or he's going to implode. I mean, we'll talk about it when we talk about game 2.
All right.
But you'll have to replace them body-wise, so it would have to be Perales or Bernardino or somebody. But yeah, I don't know. All I know is Zach Kelly has somehow like emerged now as like a legitimate option out of the bullpen, and I'm here for it. I like Zach Kelly. I can see like when he sucked, I could still see why the Red Sox really like him.
Right.
But like I was not expecting him to have like a 1.5 ERA in September and like be like a critical part of this bullpen down the stretch because he's been really good.
Yeah.
He's been really good.
Do you guys
Stuff-wise, he's up there.
Do you think Slayton has turned the corner now and he's kind of figured it out, or is he still kind of hot or cold? Or
well, he was screaming at himself again, which is
that's a plus.
very nice.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I mean, he missed so much time. It felt like early in the year he went through like little stretches where he looked dominant, and then he'd have like a week where he was horrible, and then there's another stretch where he'd be dominant, and then a week where he was horrible. And then like the last stretch of play before he got hurt, he had like 9 straight scoreless outings. But I didn't really think he was all that dominant in those outings because he wasn't striking guys out. But he's been striking guys out the last handful of times out,
Yeah.
whether he actually gives up runs or not.
Mhm.
I like where Slayton's at. I would like to
Mhm.
see him probably 3 more times before the season's over, though, where I can really kind of
Yeah.
gauge the temperature on how good he is, how ready he is for October.
Yeah, and then you got Peyton Tolley as well coming out,
Yeah.
which I think he was pitched really pretty well recently. And it kind of fills in some of those outs that you're not getting
Yeah,
from
and in a
guys.
wild card series, you assume Early and Harrison are also potential bullpen pieces as well, because you're
Yeah.
only gonna
I liked how
need 3
Harrison
spare.
pitched the other night in Game 3. I mean, I thought, if he could do that, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, he's been good.
Yeah.
He's been good.
It's almost like he does
Almost-
exist,
Yeah,
and
it's almost like he's pitched
we
Major League
should've
Baseball games
acknowledged.
before, and he got traded for a third baseman who made $203 million, and like there was
Yeah.
actually some fucking return on that trade.
Thank God.
What,
Right?
you wouldn't be happy with Jordan Hicks and Dustin May as your return?
No, can't say I would be. It's cool to see Kyle Harrison come up and have success. This was a huge start. Biggest start in Red Sox history for someone wearing 38.
Yeah.
Um,
I know Vaughn Grisham wished him good luck. He's like, "Oh, congratulations on the call up."
yeah, he was the first one there to wish Kyle Harrison good luck going to the major leagues. Maybe that was a threat. It's like, good luck. If you suck, you'll literally never play for them again because I'm living proof of that. So
Maybe that's why they keep him in Worcester. It's like a reminder and like put pressure on all the kids getting caught up. Like,
yeah,
you don't want
better
to
be
be
good.
him.
Is it like if a rabbit eats your vegetables in the garden, you kill one and leave it up on the fence so the other rabbits can see it?
Oh my God, mate. Yeah, they're doing it with Campbell too. And they
Yeah.
paid him, so it's even more daunting of a situation. It's like, wow, they gave this dude money, he struggled, they sent him down, and then they were like, "You're never playing for the Red Sox ever again."
Poor Barry Bonds. The guy gets no love.
Yeah, they although he should be back in the dugout next week, I would imagine. I think all those 40 guys are going to be a part of the taxi squad and just hang out in the dugout for that last week. I remember that's how Duran and Connor Wong got postseason experience in 2021, just being physically in the dugout.
Mhm.
I'm hoping. I wish Campbell got another crack at it, especially with all the injuries that the Red Sox dealt with in the outfield and the lack of production they were getting out of literally everybody on the team other than Trevor Story
And Nate
for
Eaton.
and Nate Eaton. Yeah, Nate Eaton's good. Like what is happening? It was for a while the way they were playing, and maybe it's a bad omen to talk about now, but like I remember in September of 2011, Marco Scutaro hit like 400 for the month.
Yeah.
Like Nate Eaton's been ridiculous in September, and yeah, now it's got me buying in on him being the Rob replacement, and I don't like that. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be talking about life after Rob Refsnyder.
Nope.
There's
I
no
didn't have
point
enough
to
time.
life after Rob Refsnyder.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't have enough life with Rob Refsnyder to even worry about life after it.
I say it all the time to my friends. It's like I miss when the big team store on Yawkey Way used to have like the jerseys for every single guy on the roster. Like you could buy a jersey of anyone. I would have a Ref Snyder jersey if they existed, but Fanatics killed that dream. And now it's like, you're going to get Trevor Story or Massa and you're going to like it. And it's like, but no, that's not who I want.
Jack, you got to be ghetto like the rest of us. Go on Etsy, make your own, and call it a day. It will arrive from Shanghai, China, in a couple weeks, and you'll be fine. It's $5.
Hey, that might be the move.
Yeah.
DH gate. I didn't realize until Section 10 night how bad the City Connect DH jerseys are. Like you can really tell. I think when you get like a white jersey or even like the original alternates, like they look somewhat normal. You get a City Connect DH jersey, that thing looks atrocious. It is so obviously not real. Like it looks like it's made with a bed sheet. It's disgusting.
Gotta
And
have
I
it
feel,
though, you know. Gotta have it.
yeah, I apologize if anyone listening went to Section 10 in a DH Gate City Connect jersey, but just for some of your own security, I was aware that it was a
Taking
DH
the
And
Gate.
Jordan
podcast,
was pointing
Jordan.
and
You know,
laughing.
you're dividing,
And I was.
dividing everybody. You're dividing everybody. You know, there's 3 people we're never gonna see again. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I was pointing and laughing, and I had alcohol that night, so I was probably cackling at that point. Like it
Oh,
was,
great, good combination. You know,
yeah, really bad. Yeah, Jack. Oh, Jack and I finally know each other exist.
oh,
Yeah, it's proven.
It's been proven. So now you're on the clock, Brian. Now we got to
you know,
find a way to.
12 games a year. I've told Jack where I am. He's just shy. It's okay. I told Jordan where I am. He's like,
Yeah, I don't know my way around Fenway. I don't know.
Eventually, Jordan's gonna be like, I can't get home. Can I have a ride?
It's not, I'm not that bad. I was in San Francisco that one night, but I was because I was a walking distance from the ballpark. I was not that bad. Although Jack witnessed me progressively getting more drunk as I was drinking a tall boy truly. Like I'm a lightweight now. It's bad. Like, yeah,
You're half
it
the
got
man you
pretty
used to be, you know. So I understand your alcohol tolerance is not what it is. We'll
It is
work on
not.
that. You really need some fried doughs from Regina's Pizza in your stomach as a good base, and then I think that will help you out the rest of the night. Jack, you're hopeless. You're just a string bean. I can't help you. There's nothing we can do about that. Maybe 20
Write that
years.
down, write that down.
Might fix that. I don't know, but
Right there. Red Sox win game 111-7.
moving on.
Moving on. Very deceptive final score. Chris Murphy gave up a grand slam with 2 outs in the 9th inning. I got nervous that Chapman was going to have to come in because he
Me
gave up a
too.
grand slam, then 2 more base runners. And then I'm like, are you fucking. And then they panned to Chapman warming up in the pen. Like, oh my God. They're up 11-3 with 2 outs, and they're going to have to go to Chapman for a batter. The fact he even had to get up was annoying, but 11-7, he did not have to pitch, which is huge. And I mean, they ended up taking game 3 by 3 runs as well, but who knows if they had to go to Chapman, how that would have fared the way he's looked recently. Not that he hasn't been good still, but he's not been. He gave up a couple runs, is what I'm saying.
Oh boy.
I mean, hey, that's bad considering he didn't allow one for like what, over a month before that. So it's like I feel so bad for relievers because your ERA goes down so slowly, but 1 run jacks it up a ton. Like his ERA went up like half a run, giving up 2 earned in like a 3-inning span after it dipped below 1.
Is he still historically the best Red Sox closer ever, even with that blip, or did that fuck it up?
What was Koji's? Although Koji wasn't the closer
1.09.
all year.
Yeah.
It was 1.09.
Yeah, I've said it enough times to people that I have that. And then in the postseason, it was 0.66 on the solo home run in the ALDS.
Freaking Jose Lobatone, man. You want to talk about some devil magic? What, like he hit no home runs, but if it was walk-off time and Jose Lobatone came strolling up to the plate, you needed to live bet that team's money line pronto. Live betting home run, free money. Yeah, 1.09. Koji was stupid. Like that was ridiculous. My man threw 87 miles an hour. Chapman's at 1.21. So there's a chance, but we're going to probably have to see him mix in a 4-out save here and there. He's only got 7 more games to.
Which he's done.
lower
Which he's
that.
done. He's done 4
In
outs.
06, Papelbon was 0.92.
And he didn't win Rookie of the Year that year, right? Because wasn't that Verlander's rookie season?
Yeah.
The 1 year Verlander did not get fucked. You're right.
Yeah. No, Verlander. Oh, 2011 too. I mean, Ellsbury should have won MVP over Verlander. I will die on that hill. That's not even me being a homer. Ellsbury. You imagine how funny it would be if that would almost be like Porcello's Cy Young. Like Jacoby Ellsbury has an MVP award. Rick Porcello has a Cy Young award.
Well, what was Ellsbury's WAR that year? Was it higher than Duran's last year? Must have been, right?
Yeah, it was
I
like
would say
10.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a ridiculous 2011. I mean, it's.
So what was he on? D-ball, testosterone. What else was he on? I mean, holy shit! I mean, he was
It's
just
so
amazing.
It's so tough for me to tell, with Ellsbury that like if he was like a juicer, because like why did he stop if he was? Because it clearly worked. Went the
Right.
entire year, hit 9.5 WAR in 2011, but
Right.
also like I felt like he didn't hit. It's not like he hit bombs. I felt like every single home run he hit was like third row.
Yeah.
And like sometimes you just hit them into the third row. Like if you hit a lot of line drives, sometimes you'll just run into some pop. He got a lot of cookies in 2011. It felt like too. Maybe just being a product of being in a very, very, very good lineup or a very talented lineup where they had no problem letting him beat them.
Right.
Um,
But
yeah,
the hype going into the fantasy draft that fall or the following year was insane. It was like, you got to take Ellsbury. It was like when Joe Mauer had like that monster year and then he hit like a catcher after that. But like the
yeah,
year before, it's like, holy shit, like, or like Cal Raleigh, he's like, he'll probably hit 60 home runs this year, which is insane.
yeah, and he won't win MVP. Tragically, he will not win
I've
MVP.
gotten an argument with people. If I could vote, I'd give him the MVP because when Pedro shouldn't have won the MVP, George King wouldn't give him a 10th place vote. Because all these Yankees are like, well, but Judge. I'm like, I don't care. I'm so biased and my Yankee hate. I will just give it to Cal Raleigh because fuck them and fuck him. I just care. I don't care about the Yankees.
Oh man, that'd be so funny. Brian somehow like sneaks an MVP vote and he just doesn't put Judge on the ballot at all.
You know what?
Judge still wins MVP, but it's not unanimous because of Brian.
Yeah, I mean, media is dead, so I'll steal a vote somehow, somewhere from the Lowell Sun or some paper that is like struggling to survive and just kind of smuggle it. I'll buy it. I don't care. I'll buy it on an auction site. I don't care what I'll do. But yeah, George King was like, Pedro is not in the top 10 for MVP. If you get a 10th place vote, he won the MVP. I think in 2001. I think
Verlander had 6.5 WAR in 2011, so 3 wins above replacement worse than Jacoby Ellsbury, but he won it. He won MVP.
Wow. And what about the Porcello versus Verlander? Didn't Verlander have a better year statistically too?
Yeah, it was close. I think. It was. Yeah, my viewpoint on the 2016 Cy Young isn't that Porcello deserved it. It's that Kluber got robbed way worse than Verlander did. Like I thought Corey Kluber was going to win the Cy Young in 2016, and they gave it to Porcello. So when like Kate Upton went on Twitter and talked about how rigged it was, like for starters, what is the media got against Justin Verlander that they're like, we got to give Rick Porcello a Cy Young award? He 100% won that because of pitcher wins, but
yeah.
Who cares? It should have been Kluber. For me, it should have been Kluber.
Are you old enough, Jordan, to remember when?
Jordan, do you remember when? I'm sorry, but Kluber was also nasty that year.
Jordan, do you remember when Felix Hernandez won it and he had 13 wins? That was kind of the tipping point for me when they were like, "Hey, it's actually about like how good the guy is, not just wins or not." You know what I mean? Like it was like now these guys kind of have a clue of like the Cy Young should be.
Yeah, I do remember that. His 13 and a lot 12, of people I think, one year he won Cy Young.
They were like, no, the guy only has 13 wins. How the hell can you win the Cy Young award? It's like because he's that good.
And then Verlander robbed Cole when they were teammates.
Would it have been? Yeah. Yeah, so Verlander's gotten plenty of luck. He won an MVP he shouldn't have. He won a Cy Young he shouldn't have. Oh, he got robbed one time. You know how funny it is that Rick Porcello has a Cy Young? It's hilarious. Like,
I love the Verlander Roger Clemens turnaround where like they're on the Tigers or they're on the Red Sox and and then they go to like Houston. All of a sudden, it's like, wow, this guy's amazing again. They like they're having like a bad year and they go to like this good team and then like the switch just flips. That was like the second breath of his career. It was crazy.
Yeah. Is it in poor taste to say that Jose Fernandez should have won 2016 Cy Young?
No.
I just feel like the attitude around that decision would have been really poor. Like the reaction to that would have been really poor. But like he led all of MLB in wins above replacement. I mean, he didn't have the lowest ERA, but his under the hood metrics were great. He struck out 12.5 guys per 9. Like I guess maybe people would have viewed it as like a charity award, but like
yeah, but you're on the Marlins. Like it's hard to like give a shit when you pitch for the Marlins and show up to work every day and be like, this team actually cares. And for a guy to just push that all aside.
Yeah, but that was also the year he died, right? Yeah, 16 was the year yeah. So that would have been such a that would have been received so poorly, but I still think Jose Fernandez should have won the Cy Young that year.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah.
We retroactively give it to him. Who even won that
I'll
year?
tell
Was
you
it
what, right
Scherzer?
now,
Scherzer.
Jordan, we're giving it to him. It's kind of like when Canseco admitted to juicing. Mike Greenwell shouldn't get the MVP in 1988. Everybody knows that. Mike Greenwell will tell you that too, by the way.
Sure, he would. It was Scherzer in 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won 20 games. Duh. Pitcher wins. Won 2 Cy Youngs in 2016. Scherzer was gross as a national. That's absurd how good he was. Yeah, Porcello just chilling there. Sale also was better than Porcello in 2016. Those games were so fun, those Porcello starts, because it would be like he wouldn't even be all that good. He'd go like 7, allow 3 runs, but the Sox scored like 15. So it was the most stress-free outings of all time.
What was his run support per game? Do you have that one in front of you? It was nuts. It was like 6 runs, wasn't it? Or was it
I
like
can
5 or
find
6?
it. It was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could find it.
Yeah.
Runs scored per 9 for starters, 7.63. These are the other guys. I mean, the 2016 Red Sox were gross. Like David Price also was in the top 5 for run support in 2016. But like this is the top 5. Porcello at 7.63, J.A. Happ at 6.88, Jake Arrieta at 6.8? Yeah, 6.84, David Price 6.61, Hector Santiago 6.48. So yeah. Corey Kluber was also in the top 10. Jared Weaver was in the top 10 that year. We had 2 Rockies in the top 10 that year.
Okay.
And Mike Fiers was also in the top 10 that year.
Yeah, 7 runs a game. I could swing that, you know.
Yeah. I think that lead might be safe with me pitching the big league level. Give me 7.6 runs a game.
Yeah.
That's like a point spread.
Yeah.
We're starting plus 7.5, and we'll see if we can cover the spread from there.
Jordan Hicks might win a game at that point.
No. No, he would not. He learned shoulder fatigue very quickly after that Guardians outing. Which, by the way, I joked that the Red Sox were going to let the Guardians get hot because that seems to be that happens. It's happened 3 times this year to them. That series against the Twins in May, the Twins won like 12 of 13. The Brewers were mid when the Sox went to Milwaukee. Now they're like the best team in the sport. And then the Guardians were dead, and the Sox took 2 of 3 in that series. Then they got just destroyed in game 3.
Sure, but we let Cleveland get hot, but they let Masa get hot. So
They
who
did.
really won that series?
It's funny you say that because you say Masa's getting hot and like he's hitting 290 in his last 10 games, but his OPS in that stretch is like 610.
Yeah, but it's okay. We can have our own Luis Arias. Like it's fine. It's better than what he was doing before.
That's true. Welcome back, Jake Mangum. I hate that guy so much too. I hate him too. I got called on my bullshit last night too by some Jake Mangum shooter on Twitter. They're like, "Oh, if he was on your team, you'd love him." And I'm like, "No, I absolutely would not, but I love Masa, and he's literally been Jake Mangum for the last handful of games." But he's handsomer, so sue me.
Would that save Masa at all if he got hot? Or is it still ticket out of town?
After this year, he's gone after this year, but
I've never. There's really nothing he can. Even if he did Steve Pierce, he'd still be gone. You think, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just delusion and my own personal bias talking. I got a feeling Masa is going to go crazy in October if the Sox get there.
Right?
I don't know if we're talking like power surge, which would be hilarious if he just like went on a 2020 Randy Arozarena kind of run. He hit like 11 bombs.
He's been seen with JD Drew recently, so it's possible.
Oh, I thought he looked sleepy at the plate lately. My man's yawning at the plate. This game's just so boring for him. There's not enough pressure on him yet, so he's got to wait till he's facing Max Fried in a playoff game, and he's inexplicably starting because of the seniority gimmick that Alex Cora likes to manage with, and he goes like 3 for 5 with a home run.
Yeah,
that'll be when Masa really turns it on. He also had an infield hit in the stretch, which is hilarious.
Perfect running form. Yep.
Perfect running form. Really rattled the pitcher. Couldn't get over there in time. But yeah. So On to game 2. We did talk a little bit about Kyle Harrison already, but kind of more like in passing. We talked about him. Jack, what were your thoughts on Kyle Harrison's outing last night?
I thought he looked good. I think outside of the time he almost fell on his face, which that scared me a little. But it happened to Crochet too. So maybe the Red Sox are building a team that almost falls, but doesn't. But no, he looked good. Obviously Tampa's offense and just general vibes right now are really bad. But he still went out there. He gave you 6 innings, limited base runners on the whole. The secondary stuff looks okay. That's kind of why he was exiled to Worcester. Was like, okay, the fastball's ready, but like we need to rework all the secondary stuff to get out to the major league level. And he was able to. We're going to have to see if it keeps going. I assume he probably gets one more start before the season's over. So we'll see how that works out. And, but, you want to just have all these guys, Ham, Early, Tolley, producing, because then it gives you so many options going into the off season in terms of how you want to handle things, either internally with just like, okay, are all of these guys going to figure into the rotation, or 2 of them, or one of them's in Worcester, or 2 of them's in however you want to do it, or as trade pieces if you want to go after Joe Ryan in spite of whatever this September has been. Holy shit!
It's just been Joe Ryan. Like this is what he's done his entire big league career.
Right.
And
The thing is, I said this on the pod back before. I was like, well, a lot of people are forgetting September Joe Ryan is atrocious. And the counter argument here was, well, this is the best season he's ever had. I'm like, I agree. But I've seen this happen before, and it's happening again. And that's something that kind of does freak me out a little bit. If he wants to be the reverse Casas and like be the worst ever at the end of the season, I'd way rather you be the worst ever at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And we've talked about this before. We're doing this thing again where the Red Sox have too many starters. We had this problem last year, but like you go into next year, you just mentioned 3 guys, but there's still Richard Fitz, Cooper Criswell potentially could be still around. Probably not because this was his last option year. Cutter Crawford will be back. Patrick Sandoval figures to potentially return. So that's what 7 dudes, and we haven't even talked about Giolito maybe being back. Bayo obviously will be here, so will Crochet. They've got options, and they obviously have to add externally too. I think they'll admit that they're not good enough to build upon this season, no matter what the end result is of if they don't. And Tanner Houck maybe, I guess, at the very, 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 very end, but probably as a reliever, if at all. I kind of hope he gets to pitch again before the lockout because, like, again, I think 2026 or 2027, there's a lockout. Like, that dude's career might be chalked. I feel really bad for him for that, but yeah, they have a lot of options. What were your thoughts on Harrison last night, Brian?
Where has this guy been? Like, I mean, with all the dog shit that we've had to see starting pitching wise, trying these Dustin May guys and all, it's like, you know what? I would have said just fucking thrown him in fine. I mean, I know the secondary stuff needs work, but with just a fastball, you can probably get through 3 innings. And then if you have some luck, maybe you get to the 5th. And then if things work, you get to the 6th, like last night, and then, they give 6 strong innings. And you can pitch against the A's, Tampa. You're not going to face these top-tier lineups. You're not going to get through those guys. But another depth arm, like you're saying, it's nice to get some return on that trade that we did. And I think going into the offseason, I think, he can be a number 5 guy. And, I mean, if he does that against the lesser teams and gives up maybe – 3 or 4 runs even against like the really good teams with the bullpen we have. And if you address the offense, whether through additions in the offseason or health, we'll be okay, and I feel pretty confident that he's going to be all right. He's got experience. You're going to be fine. But yeah, you're right. You can never have too many arms.
That was the first time Kyle Harrison has gone at least 6 innings since August of last year, August 19th. Well, at the major league level.
At the major league level.
August 19th last year against the White Sox.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God. And it was basically the same exact start. 6 innings, 4 hits last night, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. That start against the White Sox, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Basically the same exact
He's
start.
consistent.
He is very consistent. But yeah, it looks like there's one more TBD on the Sox schedule, and that's game 1 against Detroit. I imagine that'll be entirely contingent on where they're at postseason wise that day. Although I don't know who else would pitch. Maybe it's Delson May. I would not watch. We would not be there. It's an Apple TV game too, so I would have no problem not watching it.
That's right.
I feel like the Sox are always on Apple TV.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like what, the 5th time this year this will be that they've been on
Yeah.
Apple TV. Maybe I'll have to go. Unless it's Dustin May, then obviously no, I will not be attending. We will not be seated for that start. But I'll be there Saturday for Skubal versus Connolly early.
Nice.
When they inexplicably let Greg Weissert ruin another Connolly early start.
I felt so bad. I was there, and I as soon as I saw Weissert emerging, I'm like, this isn't gonna go well.
You went through the exact thing I went through when I went to Tolly's debut. The second I saw Greg Weissert enter, I'm like, this is gonna end so poorly, and it was worse than I thought it was going to be. And then, yeah, against the A's with Connolly early, that was
Yeah, because like
even worse.
I would have tried to let him get out of it because it's like, you know what, let's see what he can do. You know,
It's the A's.
the pitch count was still pretty low. I'm like, let's and it was a runner on first. Like it's not like it was like, you know, oh he gave
How do you guys like the secondary pitches of early? Is it are they 50% there? There's a lot of work to be done. How do you feel?
I feel better about his secondaries than I do about his fastball.
I do too.
Like I think if you combined Peyton Tolley and Connolly early, you'd have probably the number 1 pitching prospect in the sport.
Yeah.
Because Early has the like veterans pitch mix where he's got like feel for like, I don't want to say advanced feel for all of his secondaries, but very good feel for all of his secondaries. And he's able to locate them, throw them for strikes, get swings and misses, get chase when he needs to.
Right.
But the fastball is good, but it's not anything special like 94, 95, whereas Tolley can get it up to 98, 99 as a starter.
Right.
Or 97 to 98 as a starter, 99 to 100 as a reliever.
Right.
It's I know I said this the last time we did a show. I would not be shocked if Connolly early ended up being better than Peyton Tolley. And it's not even like I tweeted that and people took that as like me shitting on Tolley. I'm like, this is a Connolly early tweet. This is not a Peyton Tolley tweet. I promise you. I'm not saying that Tolley's going to suck. I'm saying I would not be shocked in the slightest if Connolly early just happened to be better. It's
right.
You need more than one pitch to be a big league starter.
Yeah.
And if Peyton Tolley is the best reliever in the sport and Connolly early is a really good number 3 starter, guess what? Connolly early probably better than Peyton Tolley, just for that reason alone.
I think it's just an experience thing at this point. I mean, he's got more experience, you know?
Yeah.
And I think Tolley will bridge the gap, but it's kind of like, you know, I can't remember. The only guy I remember who getting closer to the major leagues this fast was probably Craig Hansen, and that was fucking awful.
That was atrocious.
Yeah, we you know, I was there at the A's game, and I'm on my phone, and I'm like, hey, remember that guy? And we're like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. And you're like, oh yeah. And then you look at his stats, and you're like, poor fucking guy. Like he just came out of nowhere, St. John's. He was pitching amazing. He was their closer, and they basically just fast tracked him. And he did okay. And then the next year he came back, and it just wasn't there. Where Tolley, he had that electric first start, you know, and the fastball, you're right, is there. And he's going to work on the secondary stuff. And he's got plenty of time, and he's already made amazing progress, you know. So I think we're going to be okay with those 2 guys. And then it's just a matter of then you got Crochet and you got Bayo, and you can fill in the gaps with other guys. You know, you're in a good spot right now.
Yeah, I'm friends with Craig Hansen on Facebook.
Really? All right.
I was like, oh yeah, I thought so. Maybe we'll
nice
get him
guy.
on.
And he'll be the first to admit he's like it just, you know, it came and went. You know, it's like if you talk to Justin Masterson or Daniel Bard, they're very upfront about how their stuff. You talk to even Matt Barnes, he's like, yeah, I just after July, he's like, for whatever reason, the gods don't like me pitching wise, you know. But
they loved him in October. He's a very good postseason pitcher, Matt Barnes.
Yeah. Matty backpacks, yeah. But
I'm sorry, I cannot let anything negative be said about Matt Barnes without having to somehow throw a positive spin on it.
Well, I just remember being in Pawtucket for his first relief appearance because he was a starter at UConn, and it was like, wow, he can throw almost 100 now. Like, this is going to be amazing. And then he had probably, you talk about how good that Koji was. But that year that Barnes was in the All-Star game, he from spring training to the All-Star game, he was lights out as a closer for the Red Sox, and then literally just disappeared.
Yeah. I think the elephant in the room is he was like very clearly a tack guy, but he won't admit it. Like I've never heard him say that he used anything, but he got suspiciously terrible once that stopped being allowed.
Well, the most blatant Jordan that I've ever seen is Clay Buchholz when he had
Oh,
the
yeah.
1.7 ERA or something insane, and then he got hurt, and then he was just never the same. But like the first half of the season, he was like unbelievable, and
Yeah,
he was 11-2 or something crazy. It was nuts.
2013 Clay Buchholz, like, honestly felt like patience had finally paid off.
Yeah.
Like, he'd had good years, but he was never, like, consistently very good, but he, like, looked like an ace
Yeah. Oh
in
yeah.
2013. That's how I feel about Dylan Cease now. Like, I'm like, it's either going to, like, next year's either gonna be the year where he puts it all together and he's just great for however much longer his peak is, or he's Clay Buchholz, and, like, that alone is enough to keep me from wanting him. I wanted him really badly at the start of the year. I was okay with trading for him at the deadline. I want no part of paying that man because I don't think he's done enough to warrant the kind of pay that he will definitely get from someone, which means that the team that the team that lands him is going to end up unlocking him. He's going to be great. But if the Sox are the team that signs him, he's going to be fucking terrible. I just know it. I just know it. It's just
It's a Ranger Suarez pod anyway.
this is a Ranger Suarez pod. I will record weekly episodes in the offseason to remind people that I want Ranger Suarez on the team. I will do it. We will get blocked by so many individuals because I want Ranger Suarez. Also,
He's really
Framber
good.
Valdez sucks now.
Ugh.
Yeah. Ranger Suarez is very good. I don't know really what it is about him that makes him so good, but he just isn't, like, he's bad at being bad, which is great.
Jack brought up some amazing points about Joe Ryan, which is like really sobering, which is kind of like, okay, all right, that's good. Who's the other guy that you want in the offseason pitching wise to add to the start? Is there another guy?
Ranger Suarez.
It would be Ranger
Besides
Suarez.
him, but besides him, is there another guy?
Suarez?
I'd be willing to pillow contract Michael King if he's willing to take 1 year, but I think if he's willing to take 1 year, he'll just stay in San Diego on that mutual option.
Yeah. And it's like beyond that, it's like I liked Framber until the cross up gate. Now I want no part of that guy.
Yeah. But is there a PlayStation trade in your head where you move Duran for something and the something turns into something, or like what? Like what's the is there?
It's hard to know like who's even going to be like available is kind of the thing. It's like
right.
So I'm like not super confident in anything. I'm less afraid of Dylan Cease than Jordan is, but I also understand why to be afraid of Dylan Cease because it's been very up and down along the way. But the strikeouts always stay there with him, and it's like maybe he just needs to be locked in the Andrew Bailey pitching lab and he'll be fine.
Okay.
But yeah, it's weird. This free agent class is kind of sketchy. Like there isn't a guy that I'm like, oh yeah, this is a clear undervalued asset. So it's like maybe there is a guy on the trade market you can get, or like, it's just hard to know where everybody stands right now and who could conceivably be available. Like I know a guy we talked about at the deadline was like Andrew Abbott. It's like if Cincinnati is willing to listen on Abbott, I would totally be down to do that.
He's my guy. That's the guy I want. I mean, I look at his numbers and it just like there's no future there in Cincinnati. And I'm not saying like they would take Duran, but I'm saying like you can make some pieces available to grab that guy, and he would slot right in.
Yeah, I mean, part of me is starting to. He's obviously not a 1.3 ERA guy, and I don't know if you're going to trade in the division, but part of me is like, is Trevor Rogers actually fixed? If Trevor Rogers is actually fixed, is that something you could do? But also, once again, Baltimore probably not going to trade in the division, and he's still young, so they're probably going to want to hold him as they try and reassemble this core back together, and they trade Adley.
Talk about falling off a cliff. I look at them on the when you're at the Red Sox game, you look at where they are in the standings, you're like, what happened?
Even though it looks like they might pass Tampa before this thing is over because they're playing kind of better and Tampa is so bad right now. They might wander into fourth place accidentally, but it's crazy how.
Oh my God, yeah, you're right. I didn't even realize they're only 2 games back.
Yeah, like Tampa. Letting Corbin Burns walk and not replacing him with anything real will kill all the vibes. And
a 39-year-old pitcher from Japan didn't that wasn't
and
like
Charlie Morton.
Let Mo Vaughn leave, we'll replace him with Jose Offerman. Like that's an even swap, right? I mean,
yeah, and then replacing Santander, who granted has missed most of the season, with Tyler O'Neill, who's been
also bad. Out most of the season.
Yeah.
Poor Tyler.
So it just is not gone any, and now they're probably trading Adley, which is crazy.
Yeah. If the Red Sox don't add another starting pitcher, how do you guys feel about the pitching going into next season? Are you like, okay, like how you feel now? Or you like, they really need to make a move?
I'm
I'd
okay.
Yeah,
Go
I'd
ahead.
prefer them do something, but like I'd rather them stand pat than do something stupid. Like I don't want
Justin May or
yeah, I don't want
don't
like a desperation trade of like, oh shit, we didn't get the guy we wanted. Let's trade James Tibbs for Dustin May. Like,
taking Pablo Sandoval and Henry Ramirez because we're doing something.
yeah, exactly. It's like, don't get desperate. But like, I would prefer add a veteran guy. Now, granted, you could argue if you just retain Giolito,
Yeah.
that could functionally be about where you are, even though I know that would make Jordan sad. But it's like, but part of me is like, yeah, if you add a guy and retain Giolito, and then you keep Tolley and Harrison in Worcester as reinforcements, early opens the year in the rotation. Like, okay, you kind of are now injury proof, you're performance proof.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you options.
I'd be okay with it because of the talent that I believe these guys have, like the guys that would be coming up. Like if it was similar to this season, where like Richard Fitz was one of the first guys coming up. Like, yes, I kind of drank the Kool-Aid a little bit when he was throwing 99 in spring training. I'm like, oh shit, maybe he's got something here. But then I watched him after he made the team, and I'm like, this guy's really not super impressive. He's just another dude. Like,
Right.
I feel better about Tolley, obviously. I feel better about Connolly early. I feel better about Carter Crawford coming back. I feel better about Patrick Sandoval coming back than I do about Richard Fitz this year. And Richard Fitz was probably the sixth starter on my depth chart when he entered, or probably seven actually, because Priester was ahead of him, and then obviously the Giolito and Bueller and Cutter. But yeah, and even Patrick Sandoval, I probably would have over where I would have Fitz this year. But I definitely want to add somebody. If we're talking about guys on the trade market, I'm still a Jose Soriano guy. I know that he's
Yeah.
not really having a very good end of the season, but his ERA 3 starts ago was 3.68. He's gotten roughed up twice in his last three, like absolutely destroyed twice in his last three. So that'll skew the ERA a bit. But I like the idea of getting another dude who throws strikes, gets a ton of ground balls. His average fastball is 98, and he pitches gets you into the sixth inning on average every single time he pitches, which is nice. And if you can get a little bit more whiffs out of him, that'd be fantastic. I don't necessarily think that needs to be a priority, more so just making sure the command's buttoned up and he's getting more contact early in counts. That's probably my guy. I'm not
You
a
think
big
you could
Andrew Abbott guy. We've talked about that before, but
Really?
I just don't like guys who give up a lot of fly balls and don't get a lot of strikeouts. And like, so
But you're a
it's
fascist.
scary for
Okay.
me. And he's
You
having a
just
very good
you like 20 strikeouts a game, have the infielders fall asleep, and then when the
uh,
ball's David Hamilton, he's like, oh shit, I've been thinking about pink elephants all game. And then he throws the ball in the stands. Okay.
something I've also
it's just I just worry about it. I know it's kind of, I don't want to say it's hypocritical. I don't know what the word. Kind of ironic because he's really good on the Reds, and the Reds ballpark is even more of a hitter friendly ballpark
Right.
than Fenway.
Yeah.
So maybe it just works. And I did the same thing with Kenley when they signed him. I'm like, my big thing is he gets a lot of fly balls. That said, a lot of the fly balls he got were pop-ups on the infield or like shallow outfield pop-ups, and I didn't really take that into consideration. Maybe Andrew Abbott's the same kind of guy, and I'm just missing it, or he's really good at getting fly balls to center field of all places. I have no idea. I haven't really looked that deep into it, but if we're talking trading a guy, unless it's pretty much as close to a 1-for-1 swap as possible for Andrew Abbott, like it's a Duran and maybe Romero or somebody in that tier of prospect for Andrew Abbott, I can do that. I can get behind that. If
Sure.
it's like, if we're talking you got to give up one of your pitching prospects. I'll throw Harrison in the mix as a pitching prospect in this case. You're giving up Harrison, Duran, and another prospect. I'm all the way out on that. I'd rather just give up a decent amount for Jose Soriano and kind of wish upon a star that he is real. And I think he is real, but obviously we don't know that for sure because he's only been in the league for a couple of years.
I think for me, I know they don't like to kind of pigeonhole the lineup and make it so that they can't have maneuverability. First base DH got to become boppers, and you got to get like some fucking softball slugs just to mash because it would take all the pressure off these younger guys and these other guys, and If Story doesn't, what if Story isn't Story next year? Like, holy shit! Like, oh my god!
What if
like,
he's not even here next year?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he saved his team's ass. Like, people don't realize, like I do, because I'm an idiot and I watch all these fucking games. But the average person, oh, Story, is he still on the team? Oh yeah, he's pretty good. Okay, it's like he's got 30 steals. He got thrown out for the first time ever last week, right?
I know, it broke my heart.
Which
I
is
was seated
insane.
for that. Brutal.
Yeah. I love the game that I was at where he decided to throw the ball in the stands because I'm like, thanks a lot, asshole. But I mean, it's just like because he's been so good, you know what I mean? And then like Bregman is still not 100%, and Story's kind of like filled in some gaps there. Now Bregman's starting to hit, but if you had a first baseman who could hit between 250 and 300 and hit, 20, 30 home runs, I mean, I know those guys exist. Get a couple of those guys, and it just makes this lineup so much better. You don't have to have like, say Don go off because he does it like once every 7 days. You know what I mean?
He's starting to look hitterish though lately.
Yeah, but like if you don't make any moves on pitching, please, for the love of God, and make this offense better. Because Anthony's hurt, and it's like, oh my God, how are we going to score runs now? But then you play Tampa Bay, and it's like, okay, we're fine. But like then you go to those athletics games, you're like, why are we losing these games? We're not losing these games 11-2. They're like close games. Like if you get some hits at running in scoring position, you get guys on first and second, and then Connor Wong's up, or Nate Eaton or Nick Sogard, and not they're great people, but you're like, oh.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know if you guys know Fenway Attendee on Twitter. He started the wait and see movement. That's kind of where I'm at with a lot of these things now. It's like the off season. I'm like, I feel good enough about the group that will be returning if they make no moves, where I'm at least not going to be pissed off at the thought of like next year we're talking potentially the opening day lineup having all three of the big three in it. Casas back, Willier back, probably Roman Anthony. I already said the big three, but like those guys will be here healthy, and on the opening day roster. Like that's kind of where I'm at. Like with first base specifically, like I don't know. I've said this before. I would rather be wrong about Tristan Casas and have him be awful as a Red Sox than endorse them giving up on him and trading him and then him going and being a freak somewhere else. I mean, he's a freak here, just right now it's mostly off the field stuff. But like I don't know, I really am a believer in Tristan Casas. I know that injury is a very tough one to come back from, and he's probably relegated to DH in 2025 or 2026 rather, if he is back to start the year at all. I'd probably have him open the year in Worcester just to get him regular at bats against both hands. But I still think Casas is going to be in the mix next season, and I think it's better for the organization that he is. As good as sexy as it is having a ridiculously high payroll, having guys that are on pre-arbitration and productive really helps you a lot. Like not like it's almost like the time to sign a high-priced wide receiver here, again, football podcast. The time to sign a high-priced wide receiver is when your quarterback's on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
That's the time to do it. That's what the Bills did with Josh Allen. They got Steph Diggs year 3 of his career. The
Eagles
great. Got AJ Brown for Jalen Hurts.
By keeping Casas and having be a DH, then you can go balls on the walls with a first baseman who probably will play DH later in his career and you just flip him. I don't know. But yeah, Casas. Yes. Jordan's been looking at my security cameras playing PlayStation. He's been, I like that lineup. That's nice. Yeah. Oh, that's sexy. I want that. Yeah. But you get some one-dimensional Kevin Mitchell type fucking guys in this lineup that are just gonna bop, or something. It's just like, I want that,
Yeah, give me a freak. I don't care if he can field. I want him to hit 40 plus home runs. It's been a while since the Sox had a 40 homer guy. JD in 2018, right? 43
There's a couple
that year.
of those guys around, yeah. But if they do that, and you're right, I mean, with the pre-arbitration and let's say they don't make any moves pitching wise, you're right, they're in it. It's just frustrating. You guys went to those A's games, what it was like, and then you watch this Tampa game, you're like, it's there-ish. It's just like we're like those Porcello games, where you're getting 7 runs of support. That was sexy.
Yeah, and then it was followed by like a Drew Pomeranz start where they scored 2. It's like That's kind of where they're at. And I mean, maybe Willier being back today, ideally, which probably won't, because he's in the Adalberto Mondesi realm of not existing. The Von Grissom realm of not existing. But him being back will be huge, even if he's not the same. This is what I liken it a little bit to 2023 when Adam Duvall came back. Like, Duvall had been horrible after he came back for like the first month or so after he broke his hand.
Yeah.
But the offense was so much better from the day he got there, like for the day he returned to the time where he took off again.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a matter of having guys that can hit. Like, as good as Nate Eaton's been, opposing pitchers aren't afraid of him. Maybe they should be.
They should be.
When he bunts, they're afraid of him, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, how do you see the lineup with Willier back? How do you see the lineup? What do you see it? How do you see it going? What do you see?
I just see Eaton and him platooning. I think it's just righties. You'll see Willier, and then lefties. That's where Refsnyder or Eaton come into the mix, and it's actually better that way because then you could also platoon Duran against certain lefties. Now I know he hit that bomb, which was the swing of the season. By the way, we completely glossed over that because we talked about everything else. That was probably the swing of the entire season. You talk about dropping that game. Right now they're tied with they're in a 3-way tie with Houston and Cleveland for I guess the second wild card it would be, but
I think the interesting thing becomes, is it Sanchez or Sogard who's off the 28?
They seem to love Ollie Sanchez. Like, he's just there. Like, he's like the ultimate vibes guy.
There and doesn't play, but he will not leave. And it's like Sogard has given them some good at bats and stuff. It's like I'd rather, and gives you positional flexibility. I'd rather have Sogard, but I have a bad feeling it's gonna be Sogard who loses the spot.
What has Ollie Sanchez done to have such job security? Not even playing. I guess in fairness to him, he hasn't been bad.
Right, because he doesn't play.
Exactly. Like, they're like, we have no image of you being bad at baseball, so we just keep you around. I guess it's because he's a better option than Chadwick Tromp or Sebi Zavala. So if in the unlikely or the sad reality of Narvaez or Wong getting hurt, better to just have Ollie Sanchez present than Sebi Zavala or Chadwick Tromp. But I don't know. I think if one of those guys get hurt anyway, you're probably screwed. I mean, the other guy would just play every game. So we're at the point where, and if both of them get hurt, you're screwed anyway, because then your catching core is Ollie Sanchez and Chadwick Tromp or Sebi Zavala. So, I think it's kind of a waste of a roster spot. Maybe they're just keeping him there as Willier's back, you're gone.
Yeah, and it's weird because they DFA'd him that one time, and then he ended up with the Mets, and then they just paid the Mets to bring him back. It's like, I don't know what this like obsession with Ollie Sanchez is. Like, I can't explain it.
I don't know, but I kind of respect it to a degree. Like, it's so weird that I'm like, fine.
Like, I need someone to care about me the way Craig Breslow cares about Ollie Sanchez. Like, he will not let anyone else have this player.
Put it on a t-shirt, Jordan. Put it on a t-shirt.
Care for me the way Breslow cares for Ollie Sanchez.
If anyone gets that, they're like that. They're a fan. They're a fan.
They are a fan. Did see a few people at Fenway on Section 10 night that recognized us from Pesky, which I thought was really cool. That was bizarre. Threw me off. I'm like, the fuck? Awesome.
Nobody ever recognizes me, but when I mention the podcast, they talk about it, which is funny. I'm like, oh, have you ever? Because I always drop it casually. Well, if you want to listen to a good, and they go, oh yeah, I listen to that, which is kind of nice.
It is cool, and I don't know. Maybe it's because we're not as present on YouTube, even though we post all of our episodes there, that people don't put our face to the names. But I don't know. I just thought it was super cool, and like that night was super fun. And
yeah.
I don't know if you guys were you able to meet Hogdale, either of you?
No.
He was at the game I went to, but I guess he was around, and then he was home the next day. So the guy must have been like banging out here, did a bump, had a bender, had a good time, went to Soja Boy or whatever the fuck the bar is, that used to be Remy's, the one you guys went to. And then I think he was back home, I mean, he was a whirlwind tour for him.
Yeah, back home and streaming right away.
Yeah, I can hear him from here. He's like in Iowa, which is insane.
Yeah.
Did you ever ask him like what the Red Sox connection is? Is he from here? Or is he just how is he a Red Sox fan? Do you even know?
No, I never got like I mean he's a guy in high demand now. So like I saw him and like we were talking, but then like a bunch of people kind of like come
Yeah.
flocking over to talk to him, and then his mother came into
Oh,
the room, and like Ed and his mom were talking, and Haga
yep.
was in that conversation, and I'm like I'm gonna go over there and not stand here and
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
weird.
Yep.
So but no, I didn't get to ask him. That is something I am curious about though. Like how does somebody from Iowa become a Red Sox fan? Because if so, why aren't there more Red Sox fans in Iowa? Because apparently people there don't even know him. Like he's like not like he's in a small town
Right.
that people don't know him there. But he comes to Boston and he's like fucking Princess Diana. Like
I have a feeling if money permits and if he could probably move to this area.
probably.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some internet companies that are willing to sponsor that move and make it a profitable career because he's got an audience. He was on EEI, I think, too, wasn't he, or something? Or
Yeah.
yeah. So
And they keep talking about him on EEI too. Like
you know
I've been
what?
listening to talk radio
I
lately
wouldn't
and
be
they bring him up there
surprised
too.
if EEI does something with him because I would if I worked for EEI, I would make that work somehow. You know what I mean? And I would ride that until I couldn't ride it no more. I mean, I think that'd be a gold mine for them. And I think Nesson should take advantage of it too, possibly. You know?
Unobstructed views with Hogdale on it. Oh my
Exactly. He should
god.
do unobstructed views with Jared. I think that is like TV gold, and he would love it. And you got these rabid, passionate fans that love the Red Sox, and it just like they should just have him. Like, don't get me wrong, Papelbon, whatever, he's fine and all. But like, if you have make you bring him in for somebody or whatever, have him do a playoff game, it'd be viral.
It'd be fantastic. Getting Hogdale in for unobstructed views would be just absurd. I think the FCC is probably the only thing standing in the way of that. Like I think they said last year when they had the first one, because I watched that first unobstructed views broadcast, and I'm like, this is going off the rails so fast. There's so much profanity, which was not shocking. It's Papelbon.
Yeah.
Um, I think there's like I think they're allowed to get a few, but knowing Pap, like if Pap and Hogdale were on unobstructed views at the same time, Nesta would probably have to like disband because they would be spending so much in like fees and fines and penalties and shit for them being on the
The FCC has
airwaves.
bigger problems now, though. So it might slip
That's
through
true.
the cracks.
That's
It's all
true.
it's all a smoke screen. It's all a smoke screen. Nobody
They've been
don't pay attention to Hugdale. Go watch something else.
yeah. Jimmy Kimmel saved Hogdale's butt.
Not
Tweet.
clickbait.
Took a
Not
bullet for him.
clickbait. Not clickbait. Bullet point worthy on this episode? Maybe. We'll see. Did Kimmel save Nesson? Anyway. But yeah, Sox win game 2, 6-3. Chapman gets the save, his 31st of the season.
Yeah.
Garrett Whitlock gets the win and relief. Kyle Harrison, unfortunately,
He's
does
been
not get the
awesome, by
win.
the way. Whitlock's been great.
Yeah, as good as Chapman had been, Whitlock's been like just as good for about a similar stretch. He's allowed 1 earned run in his last 29 outings.
Nice.
That is stupid.
Yep.
Like that shouldn't be like allowed to. You shouldn't be allowed to be that good. And like I kind of in the same boat with that I was in with Chapman. Like let's get a little bit of separation before it happens, or like have Whitlock pitch with like a 6-run lead so we can get that meltdown out of the way. Give up like 4 runs, bump the ERA back up over 3, and then we're cooking. He has. Let me go back to so June
With him, I don't
29th.
feel like I need that, honestly. With Chapman, I agree because it was always inevitable with who Chapman is. With Whitlock, he
That's
could
fair.
just be this good. I'm really not freaked out by it. Like I think Whit might just be this guy.
He's allowed 1 earned run since July 6th. That's stupid. In that span, he has struck out 35 and had 5 walks, 21 hits in 28 innings, a 0.32 ERA.
Is he better than Chris Martin 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Really? Because he had the 1 point whatever ERA, didn't he, before he got hurt?
Yeah, I look at relievers a little differently than I would look at a starter, because I think run prevention is obviously a skill for everybody. Like that's not a hot take. But when I look at relievers, I look at dominance. Like if they're within a certain, like if Whitlock's ERA was like 4 or like 3.2 or something like that, like in that range of ERA, I'd say probably Martin. But I watch Whitlock pitch and I watched Martin pitch in 2023, Garrett Whitlock is a much more dominant arm.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
thrown 20 more innings already, and there's
Yeah.
still
Right.
plenty of games.
Oh, well,
left.
that's what I mean. I mean, the sample size is smaller, but I mean, in 2023, Martin had the 1.05 ERA, the 1 WHIP. You know, he did pitch 50 innings. And the Ks per Ks per walk were 5.8. You know, I guess okay, all right, I could see that. You know, but 23 holds. I mean, I just one ERA was just like, is that right? I always thought it was a mistake when I watched it when he come out of the bullpen.
Yeah, because I remember when he like the first like week or two of Chris Martin's Red Sox career, he was not very good.
Right.
Like,
so if you take that out of the mix, it was even lower. He had a sub 1 ERA. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. I remember people getting on my case early 2023 because I'm like, I think Martin only had like 2 bad outings in his first like 6 or 7, but I'm like, he's not missing bats, and until he starts missing bats, I am tentatively, I have him on probation. And then I remember Brandon Lau, very fitting because it's a Rays series now, hitting a big home run off of him, and I'm like, if he could just miss bats, maybe that wouldn't happen. And then he went on the IL for a bit. I don't remember, was it the anxiety IL he was on, or was it the?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he came back like 3 weeks later, and then he just said no to runs allowed, which was very appreciated on my part. But
yeah, no, I wanted him back this year, and obviously I know he wanted to go home to Texas and stuff, but like I would have loved him back this year. I was completely done with the Kenley Jansen experience. I wanted no part of that.
Why? What
I would
happened?
have loved to keep Martin. But and he's having a good season for Texas this year. Not as dominant, obviously, as that 2023 year. But yeah, I did really enjoy the Chris Martin experience. However, yeah, gun to my head, I think Whitlock this year has been even better than that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that Whitlock has continued the success, like of continuing to lower his ERA, because I made a statement like maybe 2 weeks ago that the Whitlock we're getting right now is better than 2021 Whitlock, but the ERA disparity was like 9/10 of a run at the time. Like I think his ERA in 2021 was like 1.18 or something like that.
1.96.
1.96, and his ERA at the time was like 2.7 or 2.6 when I said
Mhm.
that. And now it's down to I think 2.35. Like it's stupid. Like he is like he's striking guys out like crazy.
Yeah.
And like it's not it shouldn't be shocking to some like how good he is, because I mean we even saw this last year when he was starting. He's a good pitcher, like a really good pitcher, that his body just couldn't handle the workload of starting every 5 days. It happens. But he's a damn good reliever, and thankfully the extension he signed, he's getting paid like a premier reliever, or like a little, maybe a notch below a premier reliever, and you're getting a premier reliever out of it anyway. So it's not like you're getting boned on contract value. It's just not as much of a fleecing as you thought it would be when it got signed.
It's the perfect Chapman insurance too, because we're all like, it's gonna come. He's gonna shit the bed. He's gonna go in hibernation. He hasn't, thank God. But like that's what everyone's under his mind. It's like, is he gonna turn to Craig Kimbrell in the playoffs if they make it? You know, like would anybody be shocked if he just turtled? I mean, it could happen. I don't think it's gonna.
It could. Yeah,
but it could. Any minute that could happen. Any minute. You know. And
it looked like it might have happened last night. He got 2 quick outs, then he walked Carson Williams, and then he couldn't put Chandler Simpson away, and Yandy was on deck. And I'm like, if Yandy comes up, it's tied. Like if we all know what's going to happen if Yandy.
And this is why I don't like you manifesting the Whitlock thing, because you manifested the Chapman thing, and he's been broken ever since. So it's like let's keep Garrett's name out of your mouth.
Yeah, Jordan was the one who was like, "Yeah, I think you'd make a great starting pitcher. You'd be fine. Why don't you go start?" See. In April, it's like we have the lowest ERA of any major league team ever in the history of Major League Baseball. Do you remember? Was it last year? Was it when before Whitlock got hurt? Right before he got hurt, didn't they statistically have the best pitching ever, like through the starting?
Yeah, for like the first month of the season.
Yeah, which is like, oh yeah, this is sustainable.
Yeah, because everyone's ERA was under 2. Like we're all like, it's 2015, except unironically, they were all the ace in 2015, but they all sucked. In 2024, they were all nasty. And
the shirts are all at the Goodwill. The "I am the ace" t-shirts. They all got rid of those in May 1st. You know.
Yeah, they must have bought them, and that's why everything cratered from that point on. I did have a lot of stock in Whitlock as a starter. He
can do it. It just, the arm just said, "I've had enough," and there's a track record of him getting hurt because he's got a 5-pitch mix, but he's a really pitcher. So like he could technically do it. Spot start, he could pull it out of his ass. I mean, when we saw Tanner, when he was on, he was on. These guys, they're major league athletes. They can do it, just not 30 times a year.
Yeah, it's sad. I didn't want to sell my stock in starter Whitlock this year on like the off chance that maybe they'd revisit it again. But after watching just how good he's been as a reliever, don't do it again. Don't get cute again. If he had like a 3.5 ERA, I'd be like, why not try it one more time? Because it's not like he was a dominant reliever. No, he's like a probably top 5 to 6 reliever in the league.
Yeah.
Don't mess with that. Like you've
And
got
you'll
to
see it, Jordan. Playoff baseball, you've got a good bullpen. The games are so much more fun as a fan when you know, like, you only got to play 6 innings of like in the '90s with the Yankees baseball. If you get out of the 6th inning, the game's over.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome. That's an awesome feeling. It's like when the Royals, had their flash. It was like their bullpen was just lights out.
Yeah.
They
So
won the World Series with American League Johnny Cueto and Edinson Volquez. Oh, they had Yordan Ventura at the time, RIP. But that rotation was not good, and they beat the Mets. The Mets had prime Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard, and Jacob deGrom, and they dogged them like 5 games. And Big Sexy.
And I'd love to see what the money line was on that series. The Mets were probably the big time favorite. I bet you they were.
I thought the Mets were going to be the ones that dogged the Royals because I am not a believer in that kind of baseball. That explains my hatred for Jake Mangum to a T. I don't believe in that bloop single stolen base
National League style 80s
baseball.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. I cannot believe
you American League East homer. Like you live in the past, Jordan. Like what?
Sorry, I like watching the ball go over the fence every once in a while. Hey, the Red Sox struggling on offense coincides almost directly with their inability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. They don't have enough guys that hit home runs.
You're right.
You have too many guys that rely on putting the ball in play.
Yeah.
You're gonna go through
coming back.
Yeah. But like Yoshida, if he was a power hitter, it'd probably be less nauseating watching him struggle because you'd be like, okay, yeah, he's 2 for his last 17, but he's got a double and a homer. So it's like, and maybe a few walks mixed in, although he doesn't do that anymore. Like Sadon, when he hits home runs, he's great. When he doesn't make contact. Like he's kind of the antithesis of that player where he's all or nothing. Duran, when he went on that power binge last year and he had like 7 home runs in I think July or August, he was also hitting like 210 during that stretch. This year he hit like 240 in August, but it was the best month of his season because he hit like 6 home runs. Like, I don't know. Like Jake Mangum, that kind of baseball pisses me off. I hate it. He had fucking 3 hits last night and none of them were hit hard. IKF baseball. Anyway, I made a mistake mentioning IKF. I'm gonna get banned by StreamYard. Calm down. I didn't have caffeine today either. That was a straight up chorizo and eggs rant from Jordan.
There goes that sponsor.
How do you guys feel about game 3 tonight, though, with Connolly Early going up against Joe Boyle?
Connolly Early is in the crochet zone. I will not pick against him. Mm-hmm. He's locked in.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's also glued to Crochet's hip. I feel like every time they pan to the dugout, he's over by Crochet.
Is that what you want?
I do not fear Joe Boyle. Like, give me a break. So
you just manifested 8 strikeouts in 4 innings. Joe Boyle's a super talented arm, but I don't know. I'm not a believer in him either. I mean, his ERA this year is 4.64. The walks have started to creep up on him again. I like where the Rays are at right now, in the sense that they know that they're out of it, so they're like, we're gonna play spoiler, but the second we're losing, we're just gonna give up. We're gonna let you in. Like, that seemed to be what happened 2 nights ago. They brought in Cole Wilcox, and he gave up a run, and they're like, what if we just let him give up 6 more of those? That's precisely what ended up happening. Like they just stopped playing. Yeah. They maybe lifted him. Everson Pereira as a hero instead of just Chris Paul hits a big 3 to cut the deficit to 42. But yeah, I think the Red Sox, if they can jump out on Boyle early, get up by a run or 2 in like the first 3 innings, they should coast to a series sweep, and it's a huge one. They have to. Every win at this point matters. And I said that 87 should get them to the postseason. That was when I thought that maybe it would take a while to get from 84 to 85. They won back-to-back days. So now I'm a little scared about 87. I'm going to change that number to 88, and we're just going to keep adding one until
they clinch.
Until they clinch, yeah. 7 more games left. Where do you guys think the record will be? They're 85 and 70. 7 more games. Where are they at record wise?
I think for a second.
You got Tampa, 3 with Toronto, 3 with Detroit. We'll talk.
Are they at
pitching
85?
matchups. They're at 85.
I'll go 89.
What do you think, Brian?
I like 90. 90 is a good number. 90 and 72. I think they can finish the season. I'm looking at the series now. They got today. Boyle is not. He's a boil on someone's butt right now. He's not a pitcher, so you get him. Toronto. It's still Toronto to me. I don't even care if they're ahead of us in the standings. The Detroit series is crazy because it's like those games mean so much for Detroit. So those are going to be some crazy, crazy games. They get Skubal pitching against early, the second last day of the season. But we get Giolito, at the end. I just hope it's not like they lose the last game of the season and then somebody else loses and they're like, we made the playoffs. So the fans are like, but magic number is 6 right now. So if we win and 2 other teams lose, we pick up a number. Like it's a weird formula right now. So it's I've got it up in front of me, and my math skills are very limited. I don't really understand what I'm looking at, but like 6 is the number. I don't know how that works with these other teams, but it's 6 is the number. So, but I think if they get to 90 wins, they'll be all right.
They win 6 or any combination to get to 6 of between Red Sox wins and either Guardians or now Astros losses,
Right.
secure the Red Sox a playoff spot.
Okay,
So,
which is very reasonable. Yeah.
Houston's not going to be the team that helps them. It's just not going to happen. It could be Detroit. Detroit could be the team that completely craters, and that forces the Red Sox into the postseason. The Guardians just punch their way into the American League Central crown. But it's like Houston's got the A's and the Angels to end the year. If the Red Sox have to at any point count on one of those 2 teams to knock Houston out of the postseason, the Red Sox are going to be packing their bags at the end of the year on September 28th. It's just not going to, it just won't work out that way. I think they will be 89 and 73. I think they win today. They secure the sweep and enter that that series with Toronto at 86 and 70. Ideally, you win one of those last 2 series. You take 2 of 3 against Toronto. That'd be better because you get those wins out of the way, and that last series is less stressful. Or you take 2 or 3 against Detroit, who is reeling. But on the flip side, there's a positive regression probably in the works for them as well. They've lost 8 of 9. That's a good team. They're not going. I have a hard time believing that they are just going to be like 2-15 their last 17 games, and that's going to be how they miss the playoffs. It's just they're not going to die like that. And you got Skubal in one of those games as of right now. That's game 2 of that series. As the schedule is shaking out, I think 89.
How is Skubal? Didn't Skubal come out of a game? Is he's okay?
He's okay. I think he's starting today for them.
So we'll know if he's 100% or if he's at 80% or
Yeah, he is pitching. I think he is supposed to pitch today for them against the Braves. So, I mean, but they've been losing games he pitches too. So who knows? I also do think to a degree if the Tigers do fall out of the division lead, like so if they lose and Cleveland wins, I'm pretty sure, and Houston wins as well. I'm pretty sure that the Tigers technically are not holding a playoff spot. I think. I could be wrong. So they that does seem like a team that, I mean, like this last year they kind of wished upon a star and went crazy after selling at the deadline, and that's how they made the playoffs. The inverse could happen this year. Like that's a team that's full of guys that are used to winning, like Gleyber Torres. He doesn't know what it's like to have to play like this kind of baseball. Like, oh, we have to win now. Like even with the Yankees, that's never been a thing that they've had to deal with. It's not like, oh, we've got to win, even in the playoffs, because they love losing in October. Javi Baez has been reeling ever since this is why you don't piss off the baseball gods. He should not have been an all-star. So he's since
let alone
been
all-star
horrible.
starter.
Let alone an all-star starter. He's been really bad. The only good thing that's come out of the Tigers recently is that random copy pasta that now I'm seeing on Twitter of like that tweet that made no sense about Wencio Perez. But yeah, I think 89-73. So we got two for 89-73. Brian's at 90 and 72. With how much I flip flop, there's a chance if they win today that I'll jump there with Brian and get to 90. But I don't know. We'll
How
see.
about they do a Guardians and run the table, and then we just don't have to
That'd be
worry
great.
about anything. Like please, fucking God, please just win out, and then we're doing this podcast next Saturday. We all walk in the room. We're like, we're fucking winning the whole thing, but like it's time. I want that again. Remember like the vibes a month ago when we were just like we're the best fighting team in baseball in our heads. Like it was awesome.
I saw people were picking the Sox to come out of the American League at one point. Like national, like not just the David Ortizes of the world who the Red Sox could be 60 and 90 right now, mathematically eliminated. And Ortiz is like, I got the Sox winning the World Series. Like
I do.
Yeah, Roman comes back. I mean, it's tough to see that pathway without Roman, unless you get like a demigod stretch out of Willier, which is possible. He's done it before.
Yoshida goes off. We've talked about it. Well, Yoshida's the guy.
I still was so mad they pinch ran for Yoshida on Section 10 night because I knew the Masa walk-off bomb was coming, and then it was taken away from me because
David Hamilton
at bat instead. And the guys in front of me were like completely locked in on Masa walk-off too, and we were all so sad as a collective that it was robbed from us.
Yeah.
Masa also stole a base that night too. So like, what was Cora thinking? Right. David Hamilton was not going to get you a stolen base that Masa wasn't going to do something Masa couldn't give you, except maybe score on a ball in the gap. But the Red Sox don't do that anymore. They don't.
I got to ask this question just because I know that we're at the end of the season now. Do you have to get to the World Series to see Roman, or is it 100% we never see him? If you had to make a question now,
I mean, Cora said it Game 1 ALCS, be ready, and I'll take Cora's word at that. So I don't even necessarily need to get there. Just
but like it's a kind of thing where like you couldn't just DH him because of it's not like the outfield like swinging is the issue. Right. It's a trunk issue. So like it's not like if he's at 60%, well, we'll just let him hit like a Bregman or somebody.
Right. He's really you bring him back at 60%, you're running in the risk of like him tearing that thing,
which is just stupid.
And that would be demoralizing. It'd be like Eduardo Nunez coming back in 2017 with that knee injury. Like he came back too early, and then first inning of Game 1, he wrecked his knee, and like that's demoralizing. Definitely don't rush him back for the sake of like the story. Vibes. Like he'll be present. He'll be in the dugout. He'll be close enough.
If anything, he gets to sit next to Marcelo the whole time, so he'll be happy.
Yeah, he'll be happy. Tristan will be over there because he's just finally starting to know who these guys are. Kind of crazy where we're at now in this season, where Tristan didn't want any of those guys to make the team on opening day, and he's the only motherfucker that hasn't played for them since May. But yeah. Anyway, get well soon, my man Tristan Casas. All right, yeah. Let's preview this upcoming series with Toronto. Do we all have them winning tonight? I have them winning tonight.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Sweep for the Rays series is officially the prediction. Now for the Blue Jays. All 3 games are at 7:07 in Toronto. Pitching matchups. We got Lucas Giolito against Kevin Gausman on Tuesday, so we got a Monday off day. Tuesday is Giolito versus Gausman. Game 2, Wednesday, we got Brian Bayo against Max Scherzer. And then Thursday, Garrett Crochet against Shane Bieber. So there's that last series with the Jays. I do not remember the season record against Toronto. It feels like I want to guess it's like 4-6 or 3-7. They have not been good against the Jays. I know that the games they've beat the shit out of them.
14-1 game was so
yeah. They've beat the brakes off of Toronto a few times, but that's basically the only way they've been able to beat them. And Story has a walk-off against them as well.
Yep.
But yeah, this gigantic series, never would have expected it come when we were talking before the season in March that the season would hang in the balance on Toronto versus Boston. Now, I just want to point out they're not mathematically out of the division race either. Like the Red Sox, I think they're 5 back, 4 back.
4, yeah.
4 back. So
Sweep.
you sweep Toronto, you're a game back of them.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna put that in the world like I think it's gonna happen, but like this is a huge series for the Jays because they haven't wrapped up the AL East yet. The Yankees are only 2 back of them. So
right.
this is a big series. They're not gonna pull any punches. They are gonna try and beat the shit out of you.
Yes. As we
Jack,
are them.
how do you think this series goes?
I'm working through game 2 right now because game 1 I think they lose because it's Kevin Gausman and that guy is baseball Jesus against the Red Sox. He is going to throw 7 innings of 1-run ball with 12 strikeouts, and it is what it is. Whatever Giolito does doesn't matter in that game. We're losing the Gausman start, and then flip side, we're winning the Crochet start. So it's like it comes down to game 2. I know Scherzer's going through it right now, but also big game with Scherzer on the mound versus Bayo, who's also kind of going through it right now. I'm going to go 1-2, and I don't like it. I really don't. I don't enjoy doing it. I'm going 1-2 in terms of actual brain versus like in my heart. I'm like, sweep. But like, I think they're on the verge of getting swept, and then Crochet is asked to win game 3, and he does.
All right. What do you think, Brian?
Well, I understand Jack's concern, but I'm the complete fucking homer, and I'm looking at Scherzer's last 3 starts, and it's like 4 innings, 4 runs against New York. Okay, pitched against Baltimore, gave him 2 runs, but that Kansas City game, 7 runs in 2/3 of an inning. Like, fuck him, he's done. I know he's got 2 different color eyes. He looks like a Siberian Husky, but I don't care. I'm saying that he's going to be in the toilet. His arm's going to hurt, and then we're going to hit some shots off him, and we're going to take 2 or 3.
Do I get greedy here?
Fuck yeah. Sweep.
So I too am working through because I'm trying to think about game 1 because I do think they'll win those last 2.
Uh-huh.
So game 1 for me kind of obviously decides whether I think it's 2 or 3 are going to be a sweep. Giolito has been walking people so much lately.
Five in the last, yeah.
The bright side is the Jays swing a lot.
Uh-huh.
And Giolito has a good start against Toronto this year. His season debut, he got left in too long, but he hadn't a lot of run in his first 5 innings. He looked really sharp that first start of the season at Toronto.
Uh-huh.
We're not in uncharted territory for him, but he did not pitch at all last year. Was really bad down the stretch in 2023. So and he's looked really rough the last handful of times out. Like, yes, he's had good like final lines, but he's walking guys a lot more lately. I think if the Jays bail him out early and swing out of the zone and get out very quickly, because you're not gonna get a lot of whiffs out of Toronto. They put the ball in play a lot as well. Giolito, if he can give you 6 innings, I think you win that game.
Uh-huh.
I'm not as much as terrifying as Gausman is. The Red Sox haven't really won a low scoring game in a while either. The last time they won where they scored less than 4 runs was August 28th against Baltimore, unless I read that wrong. No, August 28th was the last time they scored under 4 and won. I think game 1 is going to be a race to 4. Whoever gets there first wins that game, and I think it'll be Boston. And I'm gonna get greedy. I think it'll be the Red Sox. Again, I think I also have to really lean into the bit that Toronto is not a good team, even though that they very clearly have proven me wrong. But if the Red Sox sweep them, then maybe I wasn't wrong. Maybe I was just early.
Insufferable. If we're 1 game out after that series, I'm going to be so obnoxious.
Yeah. Who do the Yankees play next series? Give me 1 sec. The Yankees play
the White Sox.
Oh.
White Sox.
And then Baltimore at Yankee
Shane Smith, what have you got for me? Although, I mean, hey, if the Red Sox win today and the Orioles beat the Yankees, the Sox will only be a game back of New York again. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see where we're at. And then also Toronto plays today. If Toronto loses and the Red Sox are a 3 games back, a sweep ties them in the standings. So who knows?
Yeah.
I feel like the Jays haven't lost 4 in a row all year.
It feels
It'd be a
like you're
great time to
like one of
start.
the guys on like CNN or something, like during the election, like explaining all the maps and stuff right now.
There's a
because,
blue
like,
wall here. There's a blue wall,
this is
and
how it could all go.
there's still chances. We'll yeah.
Except it'd be more like Fox News in this sense because I'm predicting a red wave to sweep through Toronto. Big red wave, and that big red wave is named Trevor Story.
The 51st state soon.
51st state. This is going to determine whether or not Canada becomes the 51st state.
No pressure. No pressure.
Whether or not the Red Sox sweep them. Just to put a whole bow on the whole Trump is an AL East fan thing and the Trump bump and shit. Yeah. We can all unite and
this could be the
what?
second to last year, the AL East too, with the realignment. After
That's
that
true.
lockout, they're tied. That division where it's us, Yankees, Mets, Phillies, that's going to be a juggernaut.
That's such a bad I think if that's a division, you need to go to like conferences as far as how you determine playoff seeding because if all 4 of those teams are good, the thought of only 3 of them making the playoffs feels kind of evil.
Yeah.
Like because baseball's better when those 4 teams are good.
100%.
And there's not 4 teams on the West Coast that really fit that mold for me. Like if every team in California except for the Dodgers and Padres missed the playoffs, nobody would bat an eye at it.
Giants kind of.
Maybe, but I mean it's probably better when the Giants are good, but like we're so used to them not being very good that it's kind of I guess the same could be said about the Red Sox, but that's neither here nor there. I'm a homer through and through. Need Kyle Bradish to do a job today for Baltimore though against Cam Schlittler. I'm looking at the pitching matchup. Sorry, I am back to my drawing out the map here. Against the White Sox, Luis Gil against Shane Smith. So that's not necessarily a gimme matchup for the Yankees. And then game 3 of that series is Will Warren against Davis Martin. And I like Davis Martin a lot. I don't know if he's necessarily great or like even very good this year.
What I'm hearing is the White Sox are sweeping the Yankees.
No, because Freed's going game 2. Freed goes game 2.
Against TBA,
TBD right now.
Yeah. Oh, well, the notorious TBD.
Could be Chris Sale.
It could be Chris Sale. He could go on waivers. Can you imagine Chris Sale having to go back to the White Sox for one meaningless start against the Yankees, slicing up a jersey?
You can't put scissors in your carry-on, sir. You cannot put scissors in your carry-on luggage. You have to check your scissors.
Drake LaRoche will be in attendance.
Sale would be so pissed he'd throw a no-hitter, though.
I'd give him a playoff share just for that start.
Oh, my God. Please do a job, Atlanta. Waive Chris Sale. I need it. I need it so badly. You know how funny that would be? Chris Sale gets picked up by the White Sox to start fucking Thursday or Wednesday against the Yankees.
Welcome to Throwback Day, Chris Sale.
Right now, tickets are as low as $5. I will be seated if Chris Sale is starting that game.
Pesky report field trip.
I will have no problem shelling out the money for us 3 to attend Chris Sale's homecoming.
They'd have to do it tomorrow though, because he's scheduled to pitch tomorrow, so they can't waive him after the game. So they got to do it before the game to line Sale up for Wednesday.
Waive him now. Oh my God, that'd be so funny. The Braves were like, let's just get rid of him. And the White Sox are like, thank you for our Wednesday starter. Because they're so low on although doesn't it go National League, goes the whole National League, or is it just by record? Because if it's just by record, the White Sox get second crack at him, or maybe third crack at getting Chris Sale. So
I like how we're talking about this as if it could happen.
Insider trading. Jordan knows something. Jordan knows something.
It very well could. You never know. You never know. Anyway,
they get second crack. Colorado first, then the White Sox.
What if Colorado was just? I mean, that would be a very Colorado thing to do. If Chris Sale gets waived, they're like, we're gonna pick him up.
Maybe he'll wear our hat on his Cooperstown plaque.
Knowing Chris Sale, he probably would. He'd be like, that's so funny. He would absolutely do that. Also, I'd throwing Chris Sale's hat into the ring for next year as far as acquirable starting pitching.
Sure.
Sure.
I would absolutely take him back.
I would never say no to Chris Sale.
Yeah.
Bubble wrap Chris Sale and let him pitch every 5 days. Put him back in the bubble wrap. I'll do it.
Bingo. Exactly. And do not let, if he even starts to dive, you need somebody to catch him, because I'm not letting him crack his ribs because he wants to be fucking Ozzie Smith in addition to being Randy Johnson.
Imagine like the aura of him and Crochet. Like that would just be like unmatched.
Ghost of Christmas past and Ghost of Christmas present.
And then in 4 years, when the Red Sox trade for Hagen Smith, they have 3 gigantic lefty former White Sox. Although Sale would be 40 at that point, but that's fine.
He'll still be shoving.
His arm is only 33 as it is, so because of all the surgeries that kept him out. I feel like that would age his arm probably, but no. Mileage wise, he's still in his prime.
Good problem to have. Good problem to have.
Exactly. Anyway, any last thoughts before we wrap this up? I think the thoughts that are starting to come out of my mouth are a little bit too outrageous that we need to just I can't say anything else. This is what happened. Like, it's like Lucas Giolito morning starts. It's just a different animal. Like me recording in the morning. Once we get closer to noon, it's like, this guy's fucking insane. We need to get him out of here. Well, yeah, that'll do it for this edition of the Pesky Report. Again, episode 525, presented by Beyond the Monster. For Brian and Jack, I'm Jordan. Until next time, peace out and go Sox.